I have a website business for detailers, but it's really low ticket niche. Should I switch to solar? If I do outreach, it'd be 10 times harder, and it's already hard. Plus, it's hard to lead gen to it. So, just for everyone, no man's land is trying to sell SMBs a higher ticket thing, and I'll explain what I mean by that. You will quickly make more revenue, but then churn will catch up with you quickly, and you will create a churn machine, and CAC will consistently rise, which will compress your margins. I'm telling you, this is where the graveyard of $1 to $5 million a year agency owners who sell lead gen services to SMB for between $1,500 and $3,500 a month, that's where they all live. That's where they all die, and it's miserable existence, and you're welcome to go compete there if you want. My opinion is that you have two options for that business if that's what you really want to do. You either go low ticket, very low ticket. I'm talking like basically $150 to maybe $400 a month. That's what I'm saying. Maybe 500 tops for SMBs, and you have to have a truly scalable solution that costs you almost nothing to deliver. This is where getting super high listed on maps, or first three for Google. This is where SEO type stuff works well. Maybe it's just like maintaining Google, Yelp, and whatever review stuff for a few $100s a month that no one wants to churn out of. All of those are things that are super reasonable that you can sell to SMBs that they will not churn out of because the price point is appropriate. It's a nuisance thing. Whenever you start getting into heavy, true lead gen, their businesses are so volatile that they will turn it off independent of how well you do, which is a very frustrating place to be. And for you to really make it make sense, you have to charge more, and they don't have the money to do it. And that's the catch-22 with that model. So I said option one is low ticket, but high gross margin. Low ticket, but high gross margins, and very high revenue stick. The other angle is to go for mid-market, so up market from there. So instead of SMBs, you're talking, okay, it's got to be a business that's doing at least $1 million, at least $2 million a year, $3 million a year, something like that. Those business owners will be more stable. And then at that point, you can start charging for, higher price points. So it's like, I don't really want to play in anything below $10,000 a month. And if you can't sell $10,000 a month to someone that's not going to make or break their business because they already know their metrics, they already have a sales motion, they already have LTV figured out. If they don't know those metrics, those people are not good customers for marketing services. And you'd be like, but that's everybody. It's like, yeah, and that's why most people compete there, and that's why most people never make money there. Whew. Good talk.
How do you tell if there's a 10X? What do you look for? What sort of qualities do you see?
So it's actually just looking at the business like a pipeline. So it's like, okay, you've got X percent, like basically you have to understand everything from click to close to renewal. And so every business more or less is like you have eyeballs that at some point get converted into leads, or they get converted into customers. So if it's leads, then they eventually have to get a scheduled appointment, they have to show, they have to close. And then on the back end, once they are closed, they have to get a product delivered or a service delivered, and then they have to buy again and again or get upsold into other things, right? So if we look at that, we can see breakages along that line, because that would be something that we would get in diligence. Just like, okay, what are the click-through rates on the ads? What are the CPMs on the ads? What are the conversion rates on the pages? What percentage are scheduling? What percentage are showing? What percentage are closing? What's the average offer rate? What percentage are we collecting cash up front? What's the average close rate? On the back end, like how many dropouts do we have in the first 48 hours? After that, what does it look like over the next 12 months or 24 months for those customers? What percentage are ascending to the next level of service? And so if we look at that and we have our benchmarks for what we think we can do with the processes that we have already tested, then we're like, okay, well, these guys are getting 30% of their appointments to show up, and we know that we can get that to 80. It's okay, well, there's a 2.5x. Okay, boom, there's one. And we're like, okay, I think they're mispriced on this offer, and I think we can at least double this. It's like, okay, well, there's 5x. You got 2.5 and 2. And you're like, okay, and right now they're not doing anything to reduce their churn. They're at 10%. I think we can get them to 3. So there's a triple. And so we're like, okay, so that's 15x. What's our confidence score in terms of like our likelihood that we'll be able to implement these changes? Is it like a super big overhaul, or is it just like there's a handful of things that we can implement and immediately see that? And the easier it is, the more likely we want to do it. And so like I just bought a chain of teeth whitening studios. We have 32 locations. We just bought. And I just got so excited because I saw their sales process, and I was like, I'm going to murder this.
It's a very interesting business.
Oh, very interesting.
I've seen a lot of those just this direct to consumer products though that you see that you get on the subscription, and they just send you.
Yep.
I have a whole bunch from Ollie.
Okay.
Believe it or not, from I think that was an Alpha M product.
Alpha M.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I saw their sales process and was like, I could make this, like, we literally can just change a handful of things around here, switch it from one time to membership, make these packages based on these price points, have an intake questionnaire, you know, like do some of the things that we already know work over and over and over again. And we 5X the LTV of the customer. So 5X how much people were worth to the business. And so it's like, great, well, there's a 5X. And then all I have to do is just double the locations over the next 5 years. I got a 10X. Great.
And then what do you do once you do that? Is it just collecting cash, or is it to eventually then sell that business?
Depends on the
move
business.
on to the next one.
Depends on the business. I would say there definitely are, like, I used to give probably, like, I always wanted to hold everything forever, but I think there are times where it does make, where businesses get to a point where the next, like, increment of growth requires, like, an order of magnitude in terms of effort that it's not worth, or we might determine, you know what, we're good cashing out on this one. Like, we might not be the right partners, or like we might not be the right owners to take it from here to there. It also just depends on what's on the horizon. If it's like, you know, interest rates are super low. I mean, I sold literally everything I owned in 2021 because money was free. And so I was like, I sold my house, I sold my cars, I sold all 3 of my companies, I sold everything. I was just completely cash. Because it just seemed ridiculous what people were willing to pay. So I was like, okay. And so if like something like that comes along that I would be consider, if someone wants to buy it more than I want to own it, then I always entertain offers.
Now, in hindsight, it seems like you made a pretty good deal by selling everything somewhat at the peak of the market. I think you cashed out. The market kept going up a little bit, and then it started. Yeah, amazing time. And then I think you were in contract to buy a house, weren't you?
Yeah.
And then you backed out of that.
Yeah.
And also, fantastic time.
Yeah. So things have worked out pretty okay on the timing of that. And I would not like claim it. So it wasn't like I think I'm timing the market. It was just more like, this makes sense. Like, this is a deal that I will accept. And on the flip side, when you're buying, you're like, I don't know if this is a deal I want to do. And it's just more like that. Unless you have like an absolute need, which I would say on the flip side, like if you need a house, buy a house. You know what I mean? Like if you like whatever. If you need an office for your company, like buy an office, because you're going to make more than trying to time the market perfectly. At least
I run a marketing agency for martial arts schools. I offer lead generation, and I offer lead generation and appointment setting services. I currently am at 420K in revenue, 100K in profits, and I guess the problem right now is that I kind of started this just doing freelancing. Kind of stumbled into martial arts on a whim.
Sure.
After having success with the clients, I figured out like a repeatable system to get them results, get people showing up, get people coming up to the first class, and that's kind of where I'm at today. And I guess my problem right now is, you know, I'm selling 3-month contracts, and churn's pretty high still, and I kind of just didn't really fix the churn issue. I kind of just started selling a lot and getting clients, and I have a good relationship with all of them, but I've been kind of stuck at this range, this $35,000 per month for a while now, and clients just leave for a lot of reasons out of my control. Either A, I do a great job and they can't handle the volume coming in, or B, they don't have the patience to kind of keep going with it. And I think,
do you want to take this one?
I don't run a martial arts school myself, so sometimes I have some issues with sales, and I can't really run internal tests. So I kind of just grew this agency on a whim.
What do you want to have happen before I answer the question? What do you want to have
What's
happen?
your goal?
Yeah.
That's the question I like to start with.
think- I think right now I'm trying to figure out if I should keep pushing on this or if I should pivot. As in, like, I didn't really set out to start an agency.
What do you want to have happen? What's the goal? It depends whether you should push or pivot
Either-
depending on your goal.
You trying to make a certain amount of money? You trying to sell a business? Do you want a lifestyle business? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want to end up?
I think right now, I want to learn how to make a lot of money and exit, and learn
this
how to do
business
that
will
whole
not
process
exit,
from
that's
start to
for
finish.
sure.
Yeah. we can tell you that.
Yeah. You will not exit this business.
Okay.
So the question is, can you learn something from this business and make money at the same time, or is there a better opportunity?
Yeah, I thought about potentially selling my book of business and then opening up and pivoting to some sort of brick and mortar kids education business. I mean, I've kind of fleshed out the scripts on how to get parents and getting them invested into a martial arts program and the whole nurture sequence behind it. So I thought about investing the money, because I've saved about $100,000 from this business, and I was thinking of kind of leveraging that into maybe investing in an actual brick and mortar and learning how to scale that. But I guess I'm just trying to figure out, do I, I'm in a good spot. Should I push the agency, grow it?
I'm curious what Layla's going to say.
And
We'll probably have two different pieces. Like, we'll probably come at this from two different angles, so you'll get a double trouble on this one.
sure.
But I'll say this. congratulations on learning how to generate leads in a market and work them and get them in. You've learned acquisition, super valuable, and you've learned it for a specific avatar, right?
Appreciate that.
The next step, this business, like I can tell you where this is going to go. You'd have to basically change this entire business in order to make it a bigger sellable business, which is essentially the same as starting over. And that's all based on your goal. Because the reason that you have the churn you have is because martial arts studios in general tend to have significant, they have high churn. They're typically not very good business owners. Not very good, but just they're small, right? They're very volatile. And so that volatility is reflected in your business, and volatility in their business and your business therefore creates a business that is not valuable, right? And so that's going to be based on them. The only way that you can get those types of customers who are volatile inherently to be sticky is to look at the things that those people already buy that they don't turn out of. So what are the things that they buy that they don't turn out of? If you were to stick with this, and I'm just using this as a mental construct, and then I'll get into more specific examples of what I think you should do next. But big picture, you could their payment processor, they don't turn out of, right? Their CRM, they don't turn out of. Their insurance, you know what I mean? Like there's things that they don't turn out of. Marketing stuff, they will turn out of left and right and center, right? So I think that you have this whole kids education thing. If it were me, I would prefer you go and find an industry. If you want to do brick and mortar, which is fine. If you want to go brick and mortar, I would find an industry that already has a product or service that people don't turn out of. Then I would apply your skill of learning acquisition to that business, and then you'll be able to, like, you can go and start acquiring businesses and then filling them up because you know how to acquire, and those businesses will already have the stick in place, and so you'll have the full stack.
What was your experience prior to this business?
Well, I worked for a marketing company, and I learned lead generation there. And then I kind of just, the company ended up getting sold. So I ended up, trying to take a jab at the freelance thing. And I learned, I got my own clients. And then after I did that for about 2 years, and here I am with a bunch of clients, and I don't really know what the next step is. So,
okay, that's great to know that you came from a marketing background.
Yeah. So I thought about getting into the kids education space because, I did martial arts because I came from a sports background, teaching kids like different sports, specifically Frisbee, which was cool. And I guess I thought about, buying some sort of like tutoring business or kids education and taking my marketing skills there and growing that. But just because if my goal is to learn how to sell and sell a company is, I'm not sure if the agency space is there too. That's where my head's at. These days, so.
Just find something that has high revenue retention, high stick.
I was going to say, you want to find something easy to market. Like, I think it's really impressive that you've done what you've done for martial arts studios because we've worked with thousands and it's tough. So I can say that objectively. It's like you have a level 8 skill that you're using on like a level 3 opportunity. And the opportunities that you're kind of presenting, they're not really that much better. It's like maybe a level 4.
They're just different. Yeah.
I'm like, can you get a level 8 opportunity to match your level 8 skill?
And what is that to you guys?
It's something that has revenue retention. I'm just telling you right now. It's something with revenue retention. Yeah, if you just solve for that, because once you have revenue retention, if you know how to acquire customers, you just grow a business. Every year it just gets bigger. The hardest thing is revenue retention.
I just want to open up your mind. You're looking at opportunities that are linear. I want you to look at opportunities that are exponentially different than what you're doing right now. And I think the reason you're thinking linearly is because, without noticing, we have these beliefs, right? That we keep ourselves in these boxes thinking like, this is what I'm good at. The fact that you're very good at marketing, you need to find a great product that retains customers easily to market. What that is, maybe it does scare you or makes you nervous. Or you're like, I know nothing about that. That's okay. You can figure it out. And the thing that I tell people a lot is it is just as hard to build a small business as it is to build a big business. Both of them are going to be painful. You're going to suffer. There's going to be late nights. It's also just as hard to build I would say like a more advanced business as it is a small business. I can tell you that from personal experience. Like building a gym up to what it needs to be is as hard emotionally as building a large company like acquisition.com. And they are hard in different ways, and they're also easy in different ways. So you're going to have 50% shit and 50% good no matter what opportunity you pursue. I would love to see you pursue an opportunity that is at least worth the 50% shit you're going to go through. That's something me and Alex talk about a lot, which is like pick an opportunity that's worth the pain, because it's going to be pain no matter what.
Right.
This goes for everybody on the call. It's going to be hard no matter what. So pick one. Even if you're like, I don't believe that I could do it, you will figure out a way. And everybody does. Even when we started acquisition.com, you know, we didn't know anything about investing or buying companies or doing any of those things. And we learned along the way. It's just that you have to have the belief in yourself to just start. Like, you're not going to feel ready for any opportunity that's exponentially different than what you're doing right now. You get ready by starting.
Got it. Just got to find a level 8 opportunity. No,
Like,
I
literally, I would
pivot,
go
guys.
on. I would literally go on ChatGPT and I'd be like, tell me what an opportunity is that has great revenue retention. Here's all the industries I've worked in. Here's all the skills. Where is something where I can get insane revenue retention that is 5 times more likely to sell and be worth something and make me, you know, maybe it's $50 million compared to these businesses I'm in right now. And just like look at the list and then think like, okay, well, like, where do I have a 30 to 50% shot of success? I mean, like, I
So
like, I
funny,
don't know
'cause
how to
last
explain
year-
this. Like, I have never felt ready before I tried something. I'm always like, I have no fucking idea if this is gonna work. I could totally fail. This could totally be terrible. And like, that's gonna happen no matter what. It's just like you're picking things that are small. And here's the thing that's even worse. You said you want to sell a business. Well, then that means you have to stay in the game, which means you have to be challenged.
Right.
If you pick something that you know
Right.
you're going to win, this is like where high performers just die. And I can tell that you're a high performer, is that you pick something that's too easy. And then you get disengaged. And then you're like, I can already play this out and know where this is going to end up, and I don't want to go there. And then you don't even want to see it out to sell the thing because you already know where it's going to go, and it's not interesting. Do you have anything you would add?
No, you're right.
I was
Yeah.
gonna add
watched. Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. No, last year I remember I was at the 10K rate and I watched a bunch of Alex's videos and he just said double ad spend and keep the course, and here I am a year later, doubled ad spend, kept the course, and I'm now I guess just got to find a, you know, high leverage activity. So
Also, I would just say this. You're going to learn more trying something than you are going to learn thinking about it. We don't learn while we stay in our heads.
Right.
We learn when we get out into the world and we do stuff. So, like, think about a way, like, how could I test these opportunities? Can I be an affiliate of a company like this? Could I be an affiliate to an insurance
Right.
company? Could I just come in and be a contractor to help build up this X company? Like, you could literally just find one big client and be like, I will do your in-house marketing just so you can learn the business.
Yep.
dang, I would love to do that.
And
Yeah.
use the
Yeah.
cash that
No,
you
okay.
have as your savings so that you can be aggressive with your learning.
Right.
As in, like, that's your
No,
nest egg, so you don't
I
have to worry
built
about
up-
living.
Yeah, I've been doing the whole like Chipotle thing, frugal thing. I saved up my first bunch of cake.
Good,
First
man.
bunch of cake of you guys. I appreciate you guys. No, I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, man.
Awesome. No,
You're gonna
awesome.
crush it.
Okay, I'll do the thing.
All right. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah,
All
appreciate you guys.
See
Bye.
ya.
Later.
How has your criteria changed for businesses over the last 2 years?
It's just much bigger. It's just the businesses have to be a lot bigger. They have to be billion-dollar opportunities now. When I first started, I think honestly, when I first started, the goal was like $50 million opportunities. And then it became like $250 million opportunities. It's almost like 5x actually, like every like 18 months or so, it's almost 5x.
So how does it work exactly? A company reaches out to you and they say, hey, we want to
They'll
be...
go through acquisition.com on the site and then
And what do? They submit their info that
Yeah.
they want money or they want to sell, or what?
it depends.
What is it?
So we basically have three kind of places that someone can go. So for like seed capital, SaaS, software type startups, we have ACQ Ventures, which is our venture arm. And so those are typically like smaller checks that are between like $50 and $1 million like check sizes. And so we do, a lot of those deals. We do probably like a couple deals, 3-4 deals a month sometimes. Like December we did 4. I think we did 4 in January. Like we do a decent amount of deal volume there. And those deals are much more like meet the founder, understand the idea, cool, we can just deploy. We have the private equity side, which is kind of like the big boy side. And those businesses, like if we're going to do a deal, they're all bespoke based on, the valuation of the business, where we think the business can go, what our value add is. And typically in that side, it's like right now we're 40% SaaS, 40% B2B services and then 20% consumer services. And we're shifting over time towards just a blend of SaaS and professional services. That just tends to be where we just do really well. And so that's on the private equity side. And then we have the advisory division, which we started in January of last year, which is companies that are like not really portfolio ready. And so that's kind of like that, 1 million, 10 million, 30 million sometimes dollar per year business where it's like they need to change a couple of things. And the reason that happened was for the 3 years prior to January of last year, we'd look at a business, we do 4, 5, 6, diligence calls, get to understand the business. And a lot of times, like 90 times out of 91, we'd be like, not a fit for us or not fit for us right now. Maybe change these 2 things, move this metric up. And when you do, like, call us back. And what ended up happening is a lot of founders were like, this was more valuable than anything I've ever had to go through. And thanks for doing it for free. And for me, it was actually super expensive because I'm doing that 90 times however many calls, lots of companies. And I was like, I wonder if we could do this in a way that we could charge to the same basically assessment of a business and say, here's all the things that we would do, here's how we change it. And so then we wanted to see if people were interested in it. So January, I was like, hey, if anyone wants to come out to our headquarters, you can meet my portfolio team. We'll kind of assess the business and be like, these are the blockages to either making it more valuable or scaling it. And so it's like, you'll meet with my head of marketing. He'll be like, okay, change this on your webpage, change this on your ads, change this on whatever. Or meet my head of sales. If sales is a constraint, these are the things that we do. And people have really, really, really liked it. So it's been exceptional. And I think the reason that it works so well is that there's kind of what I was alluding to at the beginning is that there's just not a lot of help at that $1 to $100 million range. And I think we can provide that. And so,
how do you make money from that? Are you taking distributions from the company, or have you sold some?
No. We sell it as an advisory service. It's just a service. It's a B2B
overall
service
for acquisition.
Overall. Well, no, we have distributions that come from the private equity side.
Okay.
The venture checks, obviously, I'm not going to see anything for that for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And then services, just normal business.
Why don't you have a website or a place where people could see the companies that you've invested in?
It's a good question. It's something that I've gone really back and forth on. The main reason is like when I sold Gym Launch, I sold Prestige Labs, which was a sister company that did supplements and sold through the distribution base. And I remember in the diligence meetings for that, it was like a huge point of contention that I had a 10,000 person Instagram following at the time. And they were like, are all the sales coming from your Instagram? And the business is doing like 20 million a year, just the supplement side. And I was like, no, it's not coming. They're like, well, this could be an issue for us if like we can't have complete control of the Instagram. And how do we know you're going to keep promoting it? And I was like, my Instagram is not driving, like 10,000 people does not make it 20 million. Like, I promise you. And seeing how sensitive they were to kind of like key man risk around, an acquisition, I was like, okay, if I do deals and I grow my brand, I don't want people to know what the companies are because I'm going to have to go, like I'm going to write a check, but then if I publicly associate with it, then I'm going to have to go with the deal later. So like, for example, School, that was purposely, like a brand association plus money, obviously that went into it. But I know that I'm in that for the long haul. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to be with School for many, many years. And so my key man risk is something that I'm willing to basically deal with. Whereas if I buy an HVAC business, I publicly associate with it. A potential acquirer will want me to sign some other non-competes. I'll have to have some provisions around promotion, and I just didn't want to do that. I have gone back and forth on it, though, to be really honest. Like, I've gone back and forth.
It seems to me like there would be a net benefit on that. It reminds me similar
I've gone back and forth. I have gone back and forth
like
on
a
it.
Shark Tank business, where it's like as seen on Shark Tank is pretty big. And you could argue that the business you bring to that would drive up the valuation to a point where even without you, it's still higher than if you were never involved.
Agreed. So then the next thing that goes is, if I have all of these different things that I'm like pseudo promoting, then it almost feels like I'm shilling a lot of things.
No.
And so that's been where I've been.
I would just, as a viewer of you, not that I would question your credibility, but I think that it would bring a lot more clarity where I could actually
I've gone back and forth on it. No, I mean, I've gone back and forth.
And I think it would attract a lot more businesses where you could say, hey, when you started with acquisition.com, you were valued at this much, your revenue was this much, and now look at you.
Here's the other thing. I think it would help you negotiate better terms, saying that you're going to be on this website where it's even 100 companies. And I think it's important you put them all in the same place so that it's not like you're promoting this or promoting that, or you should never talk about these businesses unless in a podcast setting where you're giving an example.
The other, and I mean, I've been torn on it. I was like, I've been very like, because of all the reasons I just said. But the other one is kind of like the compliance thing that I just said, right? Like if a company, could you imagine, like a company does something stupid, and companies do stupid things. Even if I wrote a venture check to a business and then the company does something, I'm an owner, and any reporter or clout seeking YouTuber would then be like, Hormozi is saying doing this, and it's just like,
how is it different from Y Combinator, where they're very public?
Yeah,
or a lot of these, even some of these
their
private
primary
equity firms are just like,
that's their value prop though. YC's value prop is Harvard's value prop, is like the main thing they get is the brand.
But there are plenty that go through Y Combinator that just turn out to be maybe not the best.
But I think it's Y Combinator is kind of unique in that, like, I mean, to be fair, if a Harvard grad does something bad, Harvard takes a hit. But is a law of large numbers. I told you, like,
it's going to work both ways.
Yeah.
I think it's going to hurt you if a business does something that reflects on you, and if you do something, it reflects on all the businesses. I think it goes both ways. I think the net benefit is like a 51 to a 49. Like 49% down to 51%.
Like I have gone back and forth to the degree where I've been like, I'm gonna make all of our stuff public. I think the ACQ Ventures, if I'm not mistaken, I think our ventures things are public. So it's really just the private.
I don't even know where to start.
We'll just ask one question. I'll try and answer that one.
When you were in the process of pivoting with the model for gym launch, and you were trying to just like get money together to even make it to the next thing, that's exactly where I'm at.
Sweet. Fun.
Like, I have reread and watched and researched like everything you've ever done regarding that, because it's just I feel it balls to bones. Because I mean,
what do you need to do right now?
I need to have people so that it is not solely me.
What is our by the way? What do you sell?
It's a paid advertising agency for cannabis.
For cannabis? Yes. Okay, got it. Okay. Tough.
Yeah. But that, on the flip side of it being tough, that's why there's so much leverage with that. Cool.
Okay.
There's a ton.
So what's the issue? What's the problem?
Meat.
Well, yeah, sure. It's always you. But like, what's the business problem? Like, is it not because you're like, I need to make all this money? But like, are you not profitable? Are you
It is profitable. However, it's just not went on long enough for the profit to just exist in a lump sum enough to be able to like pay for people. Because I
actually don't know what that means.
Well, I've been actively doing this for like 4 months. Okay. So it's like I've brought money in, but I've never had payroll, never done any of that. I've never hired anybody. It's all those soft skills and just have it and working through the anxiety of getting through that first hire.
What's revenue right now?
Revenue's $600K.
Okay, got it.
However,
okay,
that is the literal metric, but I collect ad spend for that. So actual profit would be like 100K a year.
Okay, yeah. So you got to sit in this room and have some different conversations. So I'm going to be super direct with you. You don't need to worry about anything you just said. Yeah. Like, you have 90K a year that you have to work with. You have no room to hire people. You either need to fix your model, because I'm guessing you're working all the hours of the day to make the 90K.
Yeah.
Right, which means the model's broken. So you can't hire more people because you, the most valuable employee in the business, like the founder is always gonna be the most valuable person in business, especially day one when there's no one else. So you need to get to a point where like you should be able to make way more than what you need so that you have room to hire other people who can help you. And so right now, you don't have a people problem, you have a model problem, which means the way that you're charging or billing the cannabis people, you're either offering too much for them, well, it's really, you're offering too much for too little. Fundamentally, that's what it is. Because either you need to be working way less to be making the money you are, and be like, shoot, I could take 10 times the customers, I just need more customers. Or you should be charging way, way more for where you're at and be like, okay, well, I'm making 10 times more than I am right now, and now I can go afford people. That's it. So either you need to work on how you do delivery to make it 10 times more efficient, or make it so that how much you make 10 times more per customer for what you're doing. It's by about a factor of 10. Like, I think if you came here and you're like, we're doing about 900,000 a year and it's just me, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's start hiring some people. That makes sense.
I get it. It's just I didn't know that the question was.
Oh, you're fine, dude. No. Dude, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to help you where you're at. You get what I'm saying, though? Forget about that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you should either 10x the price that you're charging for what you're currently doing, or make how you deliver what you're doing 10 times more efficient.
Understood.
That's it. Otherwise, the model is not going to work. So trying to scale what you're currently doing is a bad idea. You need to fix what you're currently doing so that you can scale it.
I own a pest control company. We're $50 million this year.
Big body.
I'm third generation. I'm the one that had the story about the undercover boss when we acquired a company. And I want to know how do I get it to $1 billion? And what's holding me back is manpower.
Yeah.
We built a recruiting engine and we kill it. But honestly, there's these cycles that you run through. And now we've gotten to this cycle where our A players kill it. We hire an A player and they get off, then they're fine. But we've got constant churn at the lower levels of the front
It's door
line.
knocking, right?
Yeah, well, no, we only do about $1 million a year in sales from door knocking. The rest of it's organic, acquisitions.
Oh, so you're doing M&A.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So I bought a $3.6 million company last year. I average around $1 million, maybe $500,000 a year in acquisitions, so probably average. So it's mostly organic. I'm growing about 20%, 21% organic annually, and then the rest of it has been. So
When you say organic annually, what do you mean?
I mean paid LSA, organic Google search.
Okay, so paid ads. Okay, got it.
Not all paid, but yes, absolutely. There's a little bit. SEO, current customer upsell, referrals, all those types of. Mostly a sales organization is what I would orient it as, but not like I said. We do about $1 million door to door.
Out of 50.
Yeah, out of 50.
So 2% of sales come from door to door.
Yep, and I mean we do have a budget to scale it up to about $4 million next year.
Okay.
Because we're trying to figure out, all right, how do we get to $1 billion? I mean, the guys that are doing it are either massively funded and acquiring, hundreds of millions of dollars, or they are been around for 75 years, or they're door knocking.
What's EBITDA right now?
20%. So we had
10-ish.
8 million last year. Yeah.
Okay. So you got 8 in EBITDA. You want to get to $1 billion in sales or $1 billion valuation?
$1 billion in sales.
Okay, so you need 20x. What does each market do, roughly?
The average branch?
Yeah.
2 million.
Okay. So 950 to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Only 475 locations to go. Okay. So, do you have a time frame, or you just would like to get there eventually?
Well, in under 20 years.
Okay. Yeah. It's likely. Do you have some special sauce?
Realistically, I would say that we have an excellent execution on sales. Yeah. Our supply is the issue, not the demand. And
Supply of salespeople.
Well, that is, yeah, absolutely. It's not about the salespeople. It's typically about the delivery of the product.
Literally just the pest control services?
Yeah, we get backed up, every year. That's our constraint. We outsell.
Is that what you're saying the A players from? That's where you're saying the constraint is for them?
No. I think we're killing it at A players. Our problem is we don't have, we're not retaining any average talent, if that makes any sense. And so our A players are rapidly rising through the ranks. We end up promoting them. They end up running a branch or whatever. And next thing you know, you don't have any average talent, if that makes any sense.
So, not a bad thing, but so manpower is the issue on the delivery side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is the recruiting methodology that you have for the deliverers?
How are we recruiting now?
To get the delivery team.
LinkedIn, Indeed, and then Indeed was the majority, vast majority, and then a lot of outreach, a lot of individual. We treat it like a sales organization.
Yeah.
The recruiting.
Yeah. So, but that's still the constraint, is what you're saying.
It's the retention of the employees.
Oh, so you can get those deliverers, they don't stick.
They don't stick. That's right.
Okay.
It's a hard job.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Do they have a career path?
They do, but it's so quick that the A players are step into that. And then
So when you say so quick, how many steps are there?
As far as identifying an A player,
how many promotions are there in the career path?
Oh, let's see. Team lead, branch manager, regional manager. That's
3.
So 3.
Okay. So I'll give you a little tactical Tuesday. So beyond what I would consider the soft cultural stuff, which is probably beyond the scope of an answer that would be reasonable and actually executable for right now, the way that I like to think about career ladders, and this applies to roles that are repeated within an organization, so this is sales, this is video editors, whatever, right, is that you've got title and you've got pay. And so I like to think of each one of the rungs that you just had, there's 3. I think that you could make this into 9 or 18 rungs. And what ends up happening is that instead of it being like, oh, I'm not an idiot, so I got promoted, and I'm better than not being an idiot, and I got promoted again, that's it, and now I'm gonna leave, because there's no career advancement for me, right? That's probably one of the reasons, literally the reason they'll cite on the way out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we just need to create career advancement. So I'll use sales because everyone kind of understands that, but you can translate it over. So if we have, or delivery, it doesn't really matter. So I have junior, normal, and then senior for each role. And so we say, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go from junior to junior that's paid more. And then you're gonna go to, we're not gonna call you junior anymore. And they're like, thank God, and that comes with a perk, which is that you don't have to work on Saturday nights. Great. Then from there, we're gonna go to here with a little pay bump. Then we're gonna say, great, after you get your pay bump, you're now a senior pest deliverer. Yeah. Non-pest, you're not delivering pests, you're like, here's some rats. And then here, we have our senior plus, right? But all of this could be the first title that you had. And then you repeat this at title 2, you repeat it at title 3. And so what happens is they're always 3 to 6 months away from another promotion. Mm-hmm. And so it's like whenever you're about to leave, that way there's always career advancement that exists. And by alternating title / perks, because if you just do title, to be fair, people will just take a title bump and they'll still go out and have a steak dinner with their girlfriend. It works. But if you can have that and a great parking spot, or that and you don't have to work Saturday nights, or that and you can pick your calendar, or that, there's always a couple of perks. You get a better truck, whatever it is, right? Those things you can scatter around. And on the first day or the orientation process, we like to say, like, you are here. This is where you're going to be if you do this. This is where you're going to be if you do this. And so we tie these to objective measures. And what I really like to do with these is that I like this with total volume. So think about it like in the deliveries. It's like once you get your first 25 stars, you get to junior plus, and we want that first one to be like right there, right? Because that's where some of the biggest churn is, right in that first 30 to 45 days. I'm guessing, right? Absolutely. So it's like how do we make the first one a 6-inch putt? Okay, great. So we have this one. They get their first win. Hey, I think I like my job. Great. And then here we're like, okay, now you got to get to 100. And so then we basically start expanding the reinforcement cycle for each of these roles, so that it's always just a little bit further, but there's always something to look forward to. And this is what there's a lot of solutions for your issue, or there's a lot of elements to the solution. This is one that I can deliver to you in 6 minutes.
Perfect. No, that's great.
Okay.
I think our main constraint really has been we haven't been very creative.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, and that's one thing I'm really seeing. A lot of people quickly rose like they came in, they performed really, really well, ended up moving up really fast, making a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then you have people that are real slow and they bounce.
Yeah.
Right.
So just give them more ways to win.
Yeah, that's great.
My name's Cody. I sell roofs to people. We did 140 million last year.
Sick.
Trying to do 250 million this year.
Badass.
Trying to figure out how to follow the principle of giving away more guarantees and bonuses when I have such high hard cost and such a high ticket item.
Yeah. Well, what are gross margins right now?
40%.
Gross. What's net?
10 to 15.
Okay, got it. Do you want to sell it, or do you just want to keep it forever? Or?
Well, I actually just sold my roofing business, and now we're part of a PE firm that now I'm directing that entire.
So are you the platform?
Yes.
Okay, so you're the platform, and how many tuck-ins have they done?
8.
Got it. How long has it been since they started?
About 3-4 years.
Okay.
I just got acquired 30 days, or we just closed 30 days ago, and now they're trying to roll everything into my brand and I'm
Chaos.
spearhead. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so sorry. Go back to the original question because now I have like better context on this.
So how do I give follow the principle of give away more value, make the offer so good it's
Yeah.
You got to feel dumb saying no when I have such high hard costs. I can't really do a money back guarantee. I can't really give away more than a roof.
Well, the question is that the constraint?
Well,
Like, is that the thing that's limiting the growth of the business?
In my theory, yes, because if I create a good enough offer, then I could roll that offer out to the other eight other brands, and that would be the biggest amount of leverage that I could deliver, in the shortest amount of time.
And is everyone insurance based?
Well, that's why they acquired us, because we're retail. And
So you're the only guy selling just new roofs. Everyone else is doing storm chasing and damage repair and shit like that?
correct. And what they want us to do is bring the retail model to the other brands, and to add another layer is we sell everything 100% virtually, so no in-home appointments. It's all digital, and so that's the vision is taking that nationwide.
Centralized sales virtually.
Correct.
So you want an irresistible roof offer. The greater the change, the greater the risk that the change doesn't yield the outcome that you want in the business. And so fundamentally, you're always making a bet that you're going to get a higher return off of incurring the cost of change than it costs you to do the change, right? And so in this instance, he is now, 30 days in or 60 days post-acquisition of his roofing company getting bought with 7 other roofing companies and for them to try and combine them. And he's the one who's supposed to lead the effort of combining all this stuff. And so the idea of let's change the offer. The offer is one of the highest leverage things you can change, but it also affects every department. It changes how you bill, it changes how you sell, it changes how you advertise, it changes everything, right? Which is why it can change a business overnight, but it can also destroy a business overnight. And so when I see a business that in aggregate between those 8 has $140 million in revenue and $30-ish million in EBITDA, you're talking about a business that's got probably $300 to $400 million enterprise value. I would be very hesitant to immediately change something that's obviously working. And so there's lesser degrees of change that have higher likelihoods of working that could still materially impact the business in terms of increasing the likelihood that it exits, right? And fundamentally, I'm guessing that's what he wants to get his slice from. Centralizing the sales would allow them to decrease costs because they could not have guys on the road. It's just cheaper to do it. It's also easier to hire salespeople who are remote. All of these kind of downstream cost savings. The other benefit is that when you hire remotely, you have access to a bigger pool. So you can get better salespeople at lower prices who close more deals, and they could cut down all the real big cost for this business is salespeople who are unproductive. All right, so people they're losing leads on people who can't close. And so by reducing costs, increasing talent, and increasing sales utilization, all 3 of those things reduce costs and increase revenue, which could disproportionately drive EBITDA, which is what that company is being valued on. And so when I look at that, I'm like, this is a change that you have to do in order to sell the company and will result in revenue and EBITDA growth. And so let's do this massive change first before risking the biscuit, right? Because we might just found out that just from doing that, we get a 25% increase in EBITDA, and that might be enough. Just bringing everything together plus adding the 25%, you might be right as rain. And at that point, why risk it? I feel like if I were in your position, the first thing that I would do would be centralize everything first without trying to change. Basically, I would take the model that I already know works. Is what was your revenue before you were acquired? Okay, you're doing 20. So I would in terms of introducing levels of change. So this is actually pretty good for everybody. I will typically not try and change 5 things at once. And so you centralizing all sales is going to get cost efficiency improvements, and you're going to be able to have higher sales utilization, so you probably cut off the bottom third of the sales force that's low performing. That alone might give you a 25% lift in general, because the best sales guys will take more of the sales, and you'll have centralized all the costs, you'll have centralized all the cost, right? And so you'll have an increase in revenue and a decrease in cost that's paired. That would probably be my first step.
That was part of the acquisition deal. That's the only way I did the acquisition is if they were going to give me full control and centralize all sales.
But I wouldn't, I know the question is about roofing, but that's what I would do first, and that will probably take you 6 months or more, realistically. In terms of the offer to roofs, an offer that's worked really well in home services is instead of being a money back guarantee, I position it as a profit guarantee. So it's listen, you want your thing to be on time and on budget, probably. And so I guarantee that I will deliver it on time and on budget, or I'll give you my profit, which is 20%, whatever. And that way it's you're not underwater and you still have 40% gross margin, so you're not really losing on the deal. But then people are okay, so he's got skin in the game. And so that's a way of closing significantly more deals, because the 2 biggest obstacles that, you would know this, but in most home services, it's on time, on budget, and probably for roofs, it's like, in how much am I going to be displaced, how much it's going to interrupt my life. And so I would put my guarantee around those items and then just have a marginal amount that's back. But it's really just because they don't, so the big thing, just for everybody with guarantees, is that people don't want their money back. They want the roof. And so they just want to know that you care enough to make sure the roof gets delivered. And so that's really the solve for the guarantee, is it just pays down risk of them not getting what they want. And so as long as that gets accomplished, you don't have to do it with money back. You can just do it with some money back that gets them to say yes. Does that help?
It does. Thank you.
Perfect. So he wanted a better offer despite all of those improvements, and I was like, okay, I think I can think of something for you. So if you look inside the offers book, page 125, I talk about guarantees. And so this is the guarantee formula. And so whenever you're thinking about adding a guarantee, like, this is what I think through. So if you don't X in Y time, we will Z. Like, that is fundamentally what a guarantee is. And most people, I would see a lot of times, people just say, I guarantee it. But that doesn't mean anything. You have to say what the terms of the guarantee are on a timeline. What do I get if you don't perform, right? And so with this business, and some people use like, well, I can't give a money back guarantee because I would just lose too much money. Understandable. Now, if you have hard costs like he does, then what we can do is we can just give something else. We can either a lesser portion of money, we can give something else for free. And so the guarantee is a consideration. It's what are we going to do to show you that we're just as invested as you in the outcome being positive, right? And so we basically we shift some of the risk from the customer onto us. And this is all you're doing as a business when you do a guarantee is they take some risk of buying and you're saying, no, I'm going to take some of that risk. And so sure, you could take 100%, but in this situation, he'd be taking like 200% of the risk. Basically, he'd be losing money, right? And so the idea is, again, you can add stuff. So, hey, if you don't get what you want, I can add things, which is like, hey, if you don't hit your goal, I'll add more time, which does work as a sales tool. Sometimes, though, in the real world, if someone's not getting a result, they're like, I don't want any more from you. I hate you, right? And so it does still work as a sale, but it's one of those like mid, right? Now, alternatively, you can go the reverse direction, which is take away negative, which is a discount, right? So, hey, I can't give you all your money back, but I can give you back my gross profit, or I can give it back 20%, or I can give you back 10%, right? These are all things that you can choose to give back. And the thing is it just shows that you have skin in the game. And all we have to think about, and this is the point of a guarantee, so I want to make sure I'm very clear here. The point of a guarantee is not to have the craziest guarantee. The point of a guarantee is to maximize net conversions. All right, so we just need to increase sales more than we increase refunds. So proportionally, we net more sales. And if you can just do 10% back, then that's enough to change behavior. And that's the point. Like, if there's no difference between giving 25% back and giving 100% back in terms of the actual performance of the sale, then give 25. And so you can move what you're guaranteeing in order to find the sweet spot and figure out what's actually compelling to your customer. And most times, the things that you want to guarantee around are their biggest fears. In home services stuff, it's usually around time and around budget, right? Are they getting it done on time? Are they getting it on budget? If it's other services, it might be different than that. And so you'll know your service is better, but you want to list out what their biggest fears are and then crush those with the guarantee. So if you've hit a revenue ceiling or your entire business,
I sell real estate advisory services to C-suite execs and business owners. I do about 1.2 right now, and I'd like to be at 10.
You're running like 60% margins, right? Like 700-ish a year in profit.
As an example, the guy who repped you to buy this building, that's like what I do. So my hypothesis in Seattle, so I'm in Seattle. I'm in a suburban market in Seattle doing 1.2. Hypothesis, I'm moving to Phoenix next year, so I'll open the office in Phoenix, much larger TAM. I want to hear your framework about how do you think about customer acquisition strategy for C-suite execs in a brand new market where you don't know anyone.
Yeah. So how many people do you have working under you in Seattle?
I have one guy. So he's setting meetings for me.
Okay. Are you concerned that your revenue in Seattle is going to drop?
I'm starting over.
So you're cool, you're like, this is going to zero.
It's more like lifestyle too.
Okay. Heard. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, then what'd you do to get the first 1 point?
Brute force calling and emailing 1-to-1.
Yeah. Well, that will do it.
So yeah, for sure. But 0 to 1, but how do you think about from 0 to 10 in a brand new market? Would you change that strategy up?
Yeah, if you're going for high level people, then it's gonna be more outreach driven, because most high level people are gonna get everything from referrals or for meeting people in specific, arenas.
Events,
Yeah, I'm just being real. I'm not responding to a meta ad. for buying this building, right?
For sure. Yeah.
And so,
and you don't pay out of pocket. I mean, the landlord or the seller pays my fee. So like the customer itself isn't paying for my services.
but you do renters? Is that what it is?
Tenants. So like,
Yeah. Okay. So renters.
Fortune-
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. That is actually kind of interesting. I remember. Yeah. Now it's coming back to me. Yeah. Unique model. Only focusing on tenants.
tenants and buyers. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but and buyers.
Yeah.
Okay, and buyers. Okay, got it. What percentage is
just not
tenants?
landlords?
Yeah. What percentage is tenants versus buyers?
Oh, in this market with interest rates, it's like 80 or 90% tenants, 10%
Okay.
buyers.
Interesting. Huh.
And I do industrial and office buildings. So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I'll say this: if like that specialization is kind of unique. At least I haven't, and I feel like I get solicited constantly.
For sure.
And so,
You're not getting beat on by commercial real estate brokers, probably. I mean,
not really.
Yeah.
But the running ad. So like, all right, zooming all the way out. You go into a new market,
Yeah.
right? It's like you got to either be face to face, networking, etc. Like conferences, meetups, like
right.
pounding the pavement. V1. V2 is outreach just digitally, right? Which if you have some organic following that can help, or you have to go true cold outreach on LinkedIn, things like that. That can work for sure. Again, volume.
Yeah.
The ad strategy, I think because of the unique angle that you have, I actually am more okay with it, given it's like, if you just lean in on the tenant side, I actually think you might have a better shot because it just feels unique rather than like, I have to buy these buildings, you know?
Yeah.
So that, because if you're like, I am a specialist at negotiating leases for commercial buildings under these conditions, then it's like you're niching down, and that messaging could pull someone who otherwise would, like, I have multiple brokers that I use
That's, yeah, Red
today,
Ocean.
but I currently don't have I own all my shit. But like,
Yeah.
if I didn't, then I would, I would probably be responsive to a message like that. So I think, I would probably just from a speed perspective, because I'm guessing you have cash right. I mean, your margins are good. So, I would probably start with ads first. No, and I would do the rest as though ads don't exist. But the ad strategy would be probably one of the primary things that I would want to crack in the new market, because otherwise it's going to take you however long it took you to do it the other time.
How would you use 80-20? I mean, from cold outreach to ads, what's that disparity look like?
Yeah,
Or
I
does it
don't
matter?
normally recommend doing more than one thing. My only exception is for local,
Yeah.
because local it's a
have to go
smaller.
so
You just have to just hammer
Yes.
market. The thing is that ads don't take a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah.
So it's like I basically would want you to spend, call it $100 to $200 a day in local ads, and your primary priority is to work the shit out of those leads and get the sales motion in place.
Yes.
And in the meantime, you do the normal playbook.
Okay.
So it's like, this is my guaranteed path. This is my fast path that I'm spending this money
Right.
to learn to get it, to crack it. That would be my approach. Now, the good news is that there's plenty of realtors who are super successful running ads in local markets.
Platforms, LinkedIn, obviously.
No, I mean, I think, like, again, I like the super niched messaging, so I would actually be more willing to, LinkedIn for sure, but I wouldn't be as opposed to a meta strategy given that unique angle. Just being generic realtor number 6, no.
No chance. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Real quick, and then decommoditizing my service, I guess. I already have that kind of specialty, so that probably helps.
I would be showing before and afters. So what I
like,
mean by
how do
that
you-
is like, this is what the tenant was originally offered. This is what we're able to negotiate. This was the difference.
Right.
Just, I would be.
So I
I'd
thought
be
about a guarantee. Landlord offers this. If where we end up is 20% less than that, or not, I'll rebate my fee kind of deal.
Yeah.
The landlord paid fee back to you.
Yeah.
But it's like, tough to guarantee that when sometimes it's 8% savings, 10% savings. I mean,
I would probably go with dollar amounts if you can,
okay.
and then only take projects over X.
Right.
That we could probably it'll because you want to anchor to the biggest number you can, and that would probably be how I would approach it, because percentages get eaten up real fast. Going from like, if it's less than 5, it's like, that's not impressive. But if it's like, I'll save you 50, but it's like over a 6-year term, it's like, okay, that I did save the money. It's just backloaded, and that's fine.
Right.
So I'd rather anchor to the big number.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
100%.
We help founders scale their high ticket offer online. We take over sales and marketing. 2/3 of the business, all they have to do is fulfill the clients that we sell to.
Do you find the influencers or they come to you?
A lot of our clients are organic. For the founders that we work with, they've come to us organically. But we scale their offers. The biggest problem that we've noticed is fulfillment on their side. So we sell a lot, but they cannot fulfill sometimes on the amount of people that we're sending them. And the other thing is that we want to scale past 5 million in revenue, which is what we're currently doing for us.
How many people do you have that you're doing this stuff for?
Right now we have about 6 clients.
Okay.
Yeah. And we want to scale to 50 clients plus. We have a lot of closers on different sales teams for different offers.
What's the delivery?
The delivery. So for our
no, I know you sell shit, but what do they do?
What do they do? Yeah, so they're financial services. They could be in the e-commerce space, coaching space, real estate space.
So coaches.
Coaches and also people that do done-for-you services for customers.
And the done-for-you service, like what's the split between those two?
The split between us and...
No, coaches versus done-for-you services.
What split are you...
Revenue. You have 6 people. What percentage are done-for-you versus coaching?
So I would say 80% is done for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 1 or 2 people who are coaches.
Yeah.
And the other 4 are...
in the done-for-you space.
I don't really know what that means. So
basically, it's more like, so if people want to grow a business and they don't want to do the business on their own, they have somebody that can build the business for them and they get a revenue share off of that, off of the business that was built by the founder on their behalf. So they buy in. So for example, if they have if the offer is like, let's say $50,000 to get started.
so this is biz op when you say done for you. Tough. Super regulated, man. Dude, why don't you just sell franchises? They're legit. You'll make way more money. Like, I'm guessing you have the skill of marketing and sales. That's what you've acquired. You haven't really acquired the delivery skill set. That's okay. And I just because I'll just tell you where this is going to go. So there's kind of like version 1 is, let's say that your dreams come true and you have 50 customers. You don't want 50 customers. That sounds horrible. And you have 50 minnows. So you're going to realize from 50 that you really only have 4 that are 70% of your revenue. And then you're like, why am I even doing this when these 4 are the major people? And you know what? I've made these guys so much money, I should have equity in these businesses. But there's no value in the equity because they're biz op. So it's tough because the underlying businesses that you're selling for are sketchy. It's gray, arguably illegal, just not enforced when it's small.
So when you're saying franchises, can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, like you could, like done for you totally is legal when it's under regulated stuff. Like franchises have regulations and that's it, but it protects both sides. You know, you can sell a 10-year franchise and get $150,000 up front, and the guy who does this franchise sale makes 150 of that. So like super profitable businesses. And a lot of times they do get 10, 20, 30% stakes in the franchisor's parent co. And those do have enterprise value.
And what about the coaching space? Like,
I think it's a great place to learn skills. It's not, what do you want to have happen? Do you want to sell this business? Do you just want to make more money? Like, what do you want to have happen?
I don't want to sell it. I want to grow it because I think that's a little bit, it's
you just want to make more money.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can grow this business. I think that you'll quickly find that you should just find better partners, and that's how you'll grow it, rather than taking on the people that you have. You said they come to you, which means they probably need to have some function of getting them.
Well, we already have we help for ads and marketing and sales, so we already have our own funnels.
Yeah, but you only have 6 customers.
Yeah, I understand, but we want to scale correctly. Like for example, operation side. We already know the constraints.
I'm not trying to beat you up on this. I'm just saying the model's like, name me one big business that does this.
Right.
Because it sucks at scale, and you can't control too many of the things that you are liable for. Like it would be very easy for me to just like be like, all right, here's. I mean, like, I can tell you the things to do to grow this business. I just don't think what it grows into is something you'll want.
So you say franchisor.
I would switch what you're selling your high ticket stuff for.
Yeah.
I would go find the same people who are paying $50,000 for some e-commerce coach to say, here's an Amazon store, which for no way are they going to get the $50,000 back, to selling a legitimate franchise that has earnings disclosures, it has actual, typical returns that someone can expect, that has, like the ideal space is finding a franchisor who has a good business model, doesn't know how to promote, and those are actually fairly common. So it's a very small percentage of franchisors get to even 100 locations. It's like 5%. It's a tiny amount. But a lot of people make being a franchisor their like dream. So they go do the franchise thing. They spend $250, $500 to get all the legal shit done. They sell their friends and family. They have 10, 15 locations that get open, and then the franchise stalls because they don't know how to attract customers, but they're not willing to pay franchise salespeople an arm and a leg, which is what it costs. But if you get to be the arm and the leg, then that sounds lovely. So like obviously I've come from a world that was very heavy in franchising. And so like I have multiple friends who like gave 30% of their business away that are selling for 9 figures to franchise sales orgs. So like I think you have a valuable skill set, and I think you are applying it to the wrong opportunity. And I think that the coaches are going to fizzle and pop, and the fact that you talk about things in terms of offers is hardcore direct response world. I think that world is also dying. I think CAC is going up. Trust is only going down. I don't think it's a sustainable long-term thing. So I didn't mean to fuck your shit up, but like I just think that that's like for real. I think that you're like, okay, but now what do I do when I go home, right? I mean, if I'm you, I'd be thinking that. I'd be thinking like I'm going to reach out to franchises, and I'm going to do the same things, but I'm going to market compliantly. Because right now, I'm sure if you had have you had an FTC attorney like audit all your funnels?
Yeah, so we have lawyers and stuff that.
Well, lawyers,
check.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But like
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the thing is that obviously, we are already like, compliant on those things. It's just that I think what you brought up is something that I've already thought about already. So
sell a better thing.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what we can sell. It's just the thing. It's the fulfillment.
Yeah,
on any
their
side.
shit sucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So
like you sell a dream, they do not fulfill that dream. That sucks.
No, I understand.
It's like you're using your powers for evil right now. Like use them for good. For real.
Yeah. So we were looking. It's funny you mentioned that because I actually was. That was one of the past. So besides franchisors, do you have any other?
I mean, dude, like, if you know how to do turnkey sales, there's a ton of different businesses that you could that can benefit from that. You just need to use your powers for things that are legit. Thanks.
No, but for sure, I understand what you're saying. That's definitely how we feel about it as well.
Well, well then, great. So like that's what we should do. We should not be thinking, how do we go from 6 to 50?
No, but I was just saying abstract, like I wasn't saying like.
So I would say like in the next 12 months we go from 6 to 6, except we replace the 6 we have with 6 legit ones. And if we do a really good job, what we'll find out is that we could just have one that can really fucking scale, and then we just do that. We become true partners, and then we just grow the thing. Because there's nothing that like it will be easier for you to grow one thing that's a really legit product or service to 100 million a year than it will be for you to try and grow 20 to 5.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's always in the legit space that I was always speaking of. The only thing is that operations-wise, as you scale, like what would you say, like for us, it's like more on our operation side. Like how would we scale with more clients, let's say in the franchise space? How do we do it efficiently without having any bottlenecks on our operation side?
Well, you're running ads and you're selling.
Yeah.
What are your operational bottlenecks?
Well, I would say it's high turnover of salespeople, obviously not performing to quotas.
Okay, but once you get people who stick, do they stick?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a high churn. Yeah. You have to think about it in cohorts. So if it's like you hire 3 and you keep 1, but then that one stays for 3 years, then it's just like, it's just cohort churn, and then after that it sticks. But sales is traditionally a higher churn area. My guess, though, again, like you're saying it's not this, but everything you're saying is this, is that you're selling high-ticket biz op shit and you have mercenaries in your team. And mercenaries just they jump town as soon as they get 1% more somewhere else. They're not loyal. And I think if they were really passionate about the business and the people they were helping, they wouldn't care as much.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Thanks, man. I want you to win long term. That's why I'm trying.
My name is Julian. I own High Ticket Solutions. We help founders scale their high ticket offer online. We take over sales and marketing. 2/3 of the business, all they have to do is fulfill in the clients that we sell to.
Do you find the influencers or they come to you?
A lot of our clients are organic. For the founders that we work with, they've come to us organically. But we scale their offers. The biggest problem that we've noticed is fulfillment on their side. So we sell a lot, but they cannot fulfill sometimes on the amount of people that we're sending them. And the other thing is that we want to scale past 5 million in revenue, which is what we're currently doing for us.
How many people do you have that you're doing this stuff for?
Right now we have about 6 clients.
Okay.
Yeah. And we want to scale to like, 50 clients plus. We have a lot of closers on different sales teams for different offers.
What's the delivery?
The delivery, so for our...
No, I know you sell shit, but what do they do?
What do they do? Yeah, so they're financial services. They could be in the e-commerce space, coaching space, real estate space.
So coaches.
Coaches and also people that do done-for-you services for customers.
And the done-for-you service, like what's the split between those two?
The split between us and...
No, coaches versus done-for-you services.
What split are you...
Revenue. You have 6 people. What percentage are done-for-you versus coaching?
Oh, so I would say 80% is done for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 1 or 2 people who are coaches.
Yeah.
And the other 4 are...
in the done-for-you space.
I don't really know what that means. So like...
So basically it's more like, so if people want to grow a business and they don't want to do the business on their own, they have somebody that can build the business for them and they get a revenue share off of that, off of the business that was built by the founder on their behalf. So they buy in. So for example, if they have if the offer is like, let's say $50,000 to get started.
So this is biz op when
yeah.
you say done for you. Tough. Super regulated, man. Dude, why don't you just sell franchises? They're legit. You'll make way more money. Like, I'm guessing you have the skill of marketing and sales. That's what you've acquired. You haven't really acquired the delivery skill set. That's okay. And I just because I'll just tell you where this is going to go. So there's kind of like version 1 is, let's say that your dreams come true and you have 50 customers. You don't want 50 customers. That sounds horrible. And you have 50 minnows. So you're going to realize from 50 that you really only have 4 that are 70% of your revenue. And then you're like, why am I even doing this when these 4 are the major people? And you know what? I've made these guys so much money, I should have equity in these businesses. But there's no value in the equity because they're biz op. So it's tough because the underlying businesses that you're selling for are sketchy. It's gray, arguably illegal, just not enforced when it's
So
small.
when you're saying franchises, can you tell me a little bit more about
that? Yeah, like
that?
you could, like done for you totally is legal when it's under regulated stuff. Like franchises have regulations and that's it, but it protects both sides. You know, you can sell a 10-year franchise and get $150,000 up front, and the guy who does this franchise sale makes 150 of that. So like super profitable businesses. And a lot of times they do get 10, 20, 30% stakes in the franchisor's parent co. And those do have enterprise value.
And what about the coaching space? Like,
I think it's a great place to learn skills. It's not, what do you want to have happen? Do you want to sell this business? Do you just want to make more money? Like, what do you want to have happen?
I don't want to sell it. I want to grow it because I think that's a little bit, it's
you just
too
want to make
early.
more money.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can grow this business. I think that you'll quickly find that you should just find better partners, and that's how you'll grow it, rather than taking on the people that you have. You said they come to you, which means they probably need to have some function of getting them.
Well, we already have we help for ads and marketing and sales, so we already have our own funnels.
Yeah, but you only have 6 customers.
Yeah, I understand, but we want to scale correctly. Like for example, operation side, we already know the constraints.
I'm not trying to beat you up on this. I'm just saying, like, the model's like, Name me one big business that does this.
Right.
Because it sucks at scale. And you can't control too many of the things that you are liable for. Like, it would be very easy for me to just like be like, all right, here's, I mean, like, I can tell you the things to do to grow this business. I just don't think what it grows into is something you'll want.
So you say franchisor.
I would switch what you're selling your high ticket stuff for.
Yeah.
I would go find the same people who are paying $50,000 for some e-commerce coach to say, here's an Amazon store, which for no way are they going to get the $50,000 back. Just selling a legitimate franchise that has earnings disclosures, it has actual, typical returns that someone can expect, that has, like the ideal space is finding a franchisor who has a good business model, doesn't know how to promote, and those are actually fairly common. So it's a very small percentage of franchisors get to even 100 locations. It's like 5%. It's a tiny amount. But a lot of people make being a franchisor their like dream. So they go do the franchise thing. They spend $250, $500 to get all the legal shit done. They sell their friends and family. They have 10, 15 locations that get open, and then the franchise stalls because they don't know how to attract customers, but they're not willing to pay franchise salespeople an arm and a leg, which is what it costs. But if you get to be the arm and the leg, then that sounds lovely. So like obviously I've come from a world that was very heavy in franchising. So like I have multiple friends who like gave 30% of their business away that are selling for 9 figures to franchise sales orgs. So like I think you have a valuable skill set, and I think you are applying it to the wrong opportunity. And I think that the coaches are going to fizzle and pop, and the fact that you talk about things in terms of offers is hardcore direct response world. I think that world is also dying. I think CAC is going up. Trust is only going down. I don't think it's a sustainable long-term thing. So I didn't mean to fuck your shit up, but like I just think that that's like for real. I think that you're like, okay, but now what do I do when I go home, right? I mean, if I'm you, I'd be thinking that. I'd be thinking like I'm going to reach out to franchises, and I'm going to do the same things, but I'm going to market compliantly. Because right now, I'm sure if you had an FTC attorney like audit all your funnels.
Yeah, so we have lawyers and stuff that.
Well, lawyers,
check.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But like
No, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But the thing is that obviously, we are already like, compliant on those things. It's just that we want. I think what you brought up is something that I've already thought about already. So.
Sell a better thing.
Yeah. Because it doesn't matter what we can sell. It's just the thing. It's the fulfillment.
Yeah.
On any
their
side.
shit sucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. So
like you sell a dream, they do not fulfill that dream. That sucks.
No, I understand.
It's like you're using your powers for evil right now. Like use them for good. For real.
Yeah. So we were looking. It's funny you mentioned that because I actually was. That was one of the past. So besides franchisors, do you have any other?
I mean, dude, if you know how to do turnkey sales, there's a ton of different businesses that you could that can benefit from that. You just need to use your powers for things that are legit. Thanks.
No, but for sure, I understand what you're saying. That's definitely how we feel about it as well.
Well,
So,
well then, great. So like that's what we should do. We should not be thinking how do we go from 6 to 50.
No, but I was just saying abstract, like I wasn't saying like.
So I would say like in the next 12 months we go from 6 to 6, except we replace the 6 we have with 6 legit ones. And if we do a really good job, what we'll find out is that we could just have one that can really fucking scale, and then we just do that. We become true partners, and then we just grow the thing. Because there's nothing that like it will be easier for you to grow one thing that's a really legit product or service to 100 million a year than it will be for you to try and grow 20 to 5.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's always in the legit space that I was always speaking of. The only thing is that operations-wise, as you scale, like what would you say, like for us, it's like more on our operation side. Like how would we scale with more clients, let's say in the franchise space? How do we do it efficiently without having any bottlenecks on our operation side?
Well, you're running ads and you're selling.
Yeah.
What are your operational bottlenecks?
Well, I would say it's high turnover of salespeople, obviously not performing to quotas.
Okay, but once you get people who stick, do they stick?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a high churn. Yeah. You have to think about it in cohorts. So if it's like you hire 3 and you keep 1, but then that one stays for 3 years, then it's just like, it's just cohort churn, and then after that it sticks. But sales is traditionally a higher churn area, My guess, though, again, like you're saying it's not this, but everything you're saying is this, is that you're selling high-ticket biz op shit and you have mercenaries in your team. And mercenaries just are, they jump town as soon as they get 1% more somewhere else. They're not loyal. And I think that if they were really passionate about the business and the people they were helping, they wouldn't care as much.
Okay, super. Thank you.
Thanks, man. If you like this video and you're a business owner who wants to break through your current revenue ceiling, I distilled every lesson from scaling 10 businesses past 10 million and 3 businesses past 100 million into a completely free scaling roadmap that I've used to go from 0 to 1, 0 to 10, and 0 to 100 plus. And so you can click here and you can check it out. Again, absolutely free. And since you're a business owner, appreciate you and enjoy.